Well, hello and welcome. I'm Sue Britz,
And I'm Tina Lokkbakk. Welcome to Retired.
the podcast where we talk about what life is like when we put on new tread, new wheels that move us to our next adventure.
So we have some good adventuring to do today. Some really outlandish questions. And I don't know who wants to begin, but I'm so excited.
Would you rather start or do you want me to start?
I would rather begin.
Go ahead then.
Okay. So my first question to you, Sue, today is, would you rather be stranded in the desert, Antarctica, or the ocean?
Gosh, that's a tough one.
I know. I'm
Um,
so proud of that one.
the answer is it all depends. It all depends on what gear you have with you. If we assume minimal gear
No gear
at all,
at all.
you're describing how do you want to die then? Which would you rather die?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes,
those
that
are two
is
different
correct.
questions. Because if you have minimal survival gear,
Mhm.
I might choose the
Mm.
ocean.
Mm.
If I or the desert. I don't think Antarctica. Okay, so the desert perhaps because you could maybe get somewhere or someone would find you more easily than in the ocean. So the desert perhaps I think would be the answer with minimal gear. Water becomes the issue. But anyhow, on the ocean, I feel like you could get food from fish, but you could also become food. You know.
Oh, see, I don't look at it that way. Ooh, I hadn't thought about that as the one advantage, I think, of the ocean.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the other would be okay. So how would I prefer to die? Probably in Antarctica.
that was my choice.
Yeah, because in Antarctica, my understanding is you just fall asleep, and then that's that.
Exactly.
So
That was my choice. It seemed less agonizing. But isn't it funny when you came up with this topic? That's always been my burning question. And how would I want to, because
burning.
the idea of being in the desert is just terrible. No shade, sunburn to a crisp, and no water to me is awful. They're all awful. The ocean terrifies me because
Mm-hmm.
I've watched like things, and then you get crazy because you start drinking the salt water and then it
Mm-hmm.
makes you hallucinate even more. And
You
then I
get
thought,
eaten
but
by the sharks.
see, I hadn't even thought about that. All I'm thinking about is
Mm.
like crispy drinking and hallucinating. And then for me, the biggest fear in life, Sue, or the thing I dislike on a daily basis is ever being cold. I hate being cold. And it's ironic that I would choose the Antarctica.
Well, my understanding from being stuck in like what they say is if you're stuck in the in like the top of Himalayas or whatever,
Uh-huh.
that people actually start taking their clothes off because they feel like they're hot, they're burning up. So it's an
Oh,
ironic
right.
switch. And then the other thing is, if you just fall asleep and then just fall asleep,
Yep. Yep.
So
Okay, thanks. Well, that was fun. All
okay,
right,
so
your
but
turn.
no, but it's
Oh,
interesting because it's like, is it a survival thing or is it a choosing a death thing? So that's an interesting question too.
yeah, it changes the whole perspective when it is a survival thing, and then I would have to rethink it, and I don't have enough time on the show. I had to think this question for a long time to come up with my answer. It's been like years in the making. Yeah, it's from watching all those terrible movies.
Okay, so I chose as a beginning question of would you rather something that kind of joins us with the retirement
Oh,
aspect being teachers. So here we go.
oh,
All right, because we're both out of teaching. Imagine going back under these circumstances here. Would
no,
you rather? Well, you have to. Okay.
no.
Yes, that's the question with would you rather. You have to choose them.
Oh. Okay.
Would you rather have 50 well behaved students or 20 students with multiple behavior problems?
Oh, 50 well-behaved students. Thank you.
Okay, what if it was 10? 10
No,
students.
there is no number. I want 50 well-behaved ones. And I don't care if it takes longer to grade papers. I would rather stay up late and grade papers than to have misbehaving children.
Okay, what if it was one?
No, one is all it takes in a classroom to sometimes throw you over the
No, see,
edge.
I would think I would take the one because um and then the rest of the class is regular behavior because they are going to be isolated. Those children won't be able to get the others to join on board, and I would rather have that than 50. That's a lot.
Sue, the nail in the coffin for this profession was one student who drove me out and every teacher prior. So one student, it depends on
It's
how
true.
what level we're talking
It's
about,
true.
because this student had a aide that was with this student all day long and could leave anytime and could
Yep,
throw furniture and could strangle that person's self
that's
in a
true.
classroom multiple times within a day and still keep showing up. And so no.
Yeah,
I
and
no.
the question
It
is
depends on
also,
the level, Sue. It
yeah, it
depends
does
on the
say
level.
multiple behavior problems. So there you go.
Whew.
You know, I remember that at the ending, because it was different, 30 years ago,
Mhm.
the behavior problem kids were handled differently
I was just going to say were
by the
dealt with.
yes, by the parents, first of all, and by the administration. And so there was more
Mhm.
backup to
And the
um
district.
yeah, there was more backup. And now
Mhm.
it's like there's no backup. And
Mm-mm.
like you
It's
said,
a
I
free
mean,
for all.
yeah, and you're talking about physical stuff and then
Mhm.
and you're also talking about being you have your whole reputation on the line because the parents can skewer you
Yes. Yep.
and force you out too and or drive you
Yep.
crazy. So,
Yep.
yeah, I'm with you on that. I
Yep.
think I think
So
I could
in
do
a
what
way this was such an easy question.
but one, I could do one. One would be
No.
I think I could. Maybe.
No.
Again, it
You know
depends
what?
on how things are handled.
If I had never had that one student,
That's true.
then I would have answered absolutely what I'd have taken the one. But I had never had that kind of a student until that year. And that was terrible.
Okay, let's move on. You
Yep,
got the
thanks.
next question.
Whew, whew. Okay, here we go. Would you rather know the exact day you will die or never know anything about the future? Isn't that fun?
Never know anything about the future. I don't know that we can know anything about the future. So
Correct.
right there is part of it. I think if you can, so taking that question literally, I would. Um, it's more of a question: would you rather know when you're going to die or not? Um, there's some value in knowing, and I think it makes your thinking about where you are right now more real somehow when you know it's that imminent, and yet we all know it's imminent, but the
Right.
exact date, it
Mm-hmm.
kind of changes it. I think more interestingly would be like knowing how you die is different. That would be,
Ooh,
that would be,
true. That
yeah,
changes the answer in a
yeah,
way too.
yeah.
Ooh.
I think I'd rather know how than when, and when doesn't, I'm not so concerned about. And then never know anything about the future. I just reject that part because I don't think you can know anything about the future. But in the present we can
Yeah, that's
predict
true.
or think or
It's a prediction.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I like
So
that.
what about you? What do you?
Well, I want to go and I want to share the story that really changed my life. And it started when I first moved up to where our sweet little town is and that we shared. And I came to get my teaching credential and I lived with these vet students in a home. And this particular one had type 1 diabetes. And all she ever wanted to be was a vet student. And her parents kept telling her, why? Why would you want to waste so much time in school and become a veterinarian when you're going to die? I
Oh
mean,
my
what a
gosh!
terrible thing,
What
right? What a
okay?
terrible
Okay,
thing.
just to put it into a
Yeah.
little bit of perspective is
Yes.
you're talking 30, 40 years ago, there wasn't as the
Yes.
quality of
That's,
life
thank
wasn't
you.
the
That's true.
same. But
That's true.
also
But
knowing that
still,
things are going to advance. I mean, oh my God, but still, oh my word.
they're
Wow.
telling her,
Okay.
you know, you're going to go blind. You
Wow.
won't be able to see
Oh,
anymore. You're
geez.
going to just die. And so, and I appreciated this part because she said, you know what? I don't care. This is my passion. This is why I'm alive. This is why I'm happy. And I really saw her excited about learning. So I moved out. I ended up getting married, and I had heard through the grapevine, because I was still friends that were connected with the vet school, that she had some health problems at the end, and she had graduated though. And she had a horse and a horse trailer and was driving back, and I believe it was like Wisconsin. And she's driving back to begin her life and gets into a car wreck and dies.
Mm, mm,
And what that showed me was we can sit here and plan on how we're going to die, when we're going to die, or think we're going to die. And then it doesn't even happen the way we think, right?
right.
So you just have to enjoy each day as it comes. That was the thing that it came with me. It's like, it doesn't matter. Just take this day that you got, or this dream that you have, and just keep working towards it. Because here she enjoyed her life, right? Let's say she never could have been a vet because she would have died from diabetes anyway. So either way, she was going to die, but she enjoyed her life in pursuit of becoming the thing she wanted. You know,
Yeah. First of all, did the horse make it or
it's
not?
a, I don't think so. I think it, no.
Okay. I'm just, I'm appalled by those parents, you know,
Right?
and that makes me sad and sick. And I'm just grateful that she embraced who she
Did it
was and did it.
anyway.
Yeah. 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 Good for
Yep.
her.
Yep.
Um, just
Hold
really
on.
relevant.
In honor of Sully, I just have to say her name was Sully. That was in honor of Sully. Okay, go ahead.
Did you say Sully as an Sully?
No, it was like Selly, like a
Oh,
Shelley, but
okay.
without the H.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right
All
to
right.
her. Um, in the news, I mean, just a couple days ago, as we're recording this, the actor Eric Dane died, and he left a message
Oh,
behind with
right.
last words. I saw it on YouTube this morning, or yeah, I think it was
Oh,
YouTube,
he
but he's on
did?
Netflix. It is astounding. It's beautiful, and it's all the things that we
Oh,
know. It's very beautifully said, and he's choosing
oh,
that as his goodbye to his kids, and it was really
oh.
profound. It's like Come See Me in the Good Light. That was an amazing film too. It's like how to live while dying, and um, we're
Oh.
all living as we're dying. So, we got to listen to these folks who have the grace and the strength to put words to this journey that they're on. So, that we're all on.
So this is the Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
actor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my daughter, when I read it, I reached out to her because her favorite show as her in through her teen years was Grey's Anatomy. She was going to be a doctor, like she was hooked on
Yeah.
this thing. And then she got me into Euphoria, which is like kind of very dark, and he played a very, very dark character. And it just shocked me because I didn't know anything about his health. And he was like the epitome of fit. Like this man
Mm-hmm.
was ripped with muscles, like drop dead gorgeous, just Greek body. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and and then I was leveled, and I look at his age, 53, and I'm telling you, Sue, each day I wake up, I think I am so blessed. I am here and I still have this body, and we're just losing people around us. Like, I really understand the older we get, the more fortunate we are to be here. And
Yep.
he's one more example where I looked at him, and I'm so grateful to be alive with the body that I have that's holding up the way it is. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, oof.
All right. Well, I have one more for you.
Okay.
Would you rather go into the past to meet your ancestors or go to the future to meet your progeny, assuming you have any, or your family's progeny?
My instinct, it's like you didn't even have to finish. I'm like, I want to go back and meet everybody in the past. And I was so stuck there that I couldn't even process the future. Um, I don't know. I wonder if it's because I love teaching history so much that it would be so fun to go back in time, not
Yeah,
forward in time.
yeah,
I actually fear that forward in time would be more depressing than going back in time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, this is a little aside. Do you remember Kevin Costner? I think it was Kevin Costner, and he had that movie where everything was like based on the ocean. and everything was just ugly and destroyed and
Yeah.
dirty. It was like yeah, I forget what that
Mad
was.
Max?
Oh, no, 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 no. No, it was Kevin Costner, and he had a
Okay.
boat, and he was trying to figure out how to
I
take
don't
salt
know.
water and make it clean. That goes back to my first question. Anyway, I'm not so sure that it's going to be so beautiful in the future. So, to answer your question, I want to go back in the past and as far back in all the generations as I could. That would be fun. Back to the Viking.
I kind of,
How about you?
me too, and I don't know that there will be any progeny, so that's part of it too. Is like, if it's someone in my bloodline, I don't know that that is going to be as interesting. So it's more about, do you want to go back in the past or the future? The question also would be, what
Ooh,
if you were stuck there? Like you went back and you couldn't, or you went forward
oh,
and you
God.
couldn't change. Would that change your answer?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. I think it's going to start with Laura Ingalls Wilder in Little House on the Prairie. And I remember even as a kid thinking I would be so upset because I was like a total tomboy that loved to be outside and play and climb trees and do all these things. And I always thought, I don't want to wear a dress. I just want to wear pants. Like, and back in the day, you'd have to wear these ridiculous dresses. And I know this is such a tiny thing. And now as an adult, realizing we don't have rights for such simplistic things,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be fearful I don't want to live in the past because I don't want to sit side saddle and I don't want to wear a dress if I don't want to.
Yeah, and then
And so,
female hygiene.
hold on. Oh, I didn't even think of that. But so I would like to say I would rather than live in the future with the hope that we still have rights
There we
and
go.
maybe more of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So it'd be for the hope. It would be a gamble. For sure, I know what would happen in the past as a female. So I would say future hope.
Yeah, that's interesting
You?
because yeah, the past is scary in that respect because you don't have your
Vote.
autonomy, and
Have your own credit card.
right, and you can't vote like you said. And I'm also worried about having antibiotics or how things would play out when
Oh,
you're sick or your vaccines and stuff. So that would
yeah.
affect me too. But
Painkillers.
just being the female in the
Yeah.
past would be very
Yeah.
hard.
Terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it can be in the future too. You're not so far off on that one. Okay, you got a question for me?
I do. Okay. I had to pick something light, right? After a while, mine were
Okay.
too morbid. Would you rather sing everything you say or dance everywhere you go?
Oh my word. Okay, my dancing would probably wear me out, and I would look so foolish and ridiculous that I couldn't be taken seriously. Whereas singing would be at least, I mean, I'm not a singer, but at least people go, okay, how unique and how interesting to always be singing. You could really change your voice and try on different genres. I don't know. It would be, yeah, it's bad regardless.
Well, it is. And I'm not a great dancer, nor am I a great singer. So either way, it comes out. But this is what I was thinking. All I could think about was if I had to have a serious meeting, I would rather dance into the meeting, sit down, and be able to speak my way as a professional because no one would take me seriously if this is like a professional meeting. So
That's true.
I couldn't get beyond that. So I thought if I could just make it to the door,
I
then
wonder.
I'd be fine.
So, and if you were, I thought, okay, a fix around it would be like if you used a wheelchair or one of those mobile chairs, you could do that. But then, in theory, then you'd have to dance it or swerve it around and stuff. You'd have to chair dance, in order to go from place to place. I don't know.
Ah, thanks. That made me
Yeah.
laugh. Any others for me?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Oh, oh, oh.
So, would you rather have more time or more money? This is an interesting one. I think depending on where you are in your life, you might have
Uh
different
huh.
answers.
Uh huh. Okay, so this past year, waiting for Maria to get done with the car and to come back, and I've had so much time in this last year. And it has been, I'm grateful, actually. I'm grateful. So I think, in a way, to answer that question, I have been grateful to have had this time to to really use it in the best way I could have. So my commitment when she left last time, because when I went to Norway, we figured she'd be done with the car by then and we could start our tours. So, and it didn't happen. And I made that decision when she hadn't come back that this would be the year that I would take the last of my resources and really invest in skills to do the things I really have wanted to do. And so my blessing has been time where I have not been stressed to get these things done that I couldn't have done if I had to work a job and do it and tired at 57. So, long story short, I am living the example. I choose time over money. I'd rather have less things, not go out, and have the time to do what I need to. However, if it went on permanently, I would go insane. Like, it's only because I am packing all the things for skills in this year, but I don't want to do this forever, you know? So let's say now I'm ready to start with the money and have less time. How
Uh,
about you?
I think that's kind of the case. I think, it's interesting because as you get older, you're like, hold it, I want just a little bit more time. I want a little bit more time to do the things that. So I think more important, I think people like us, we get to a place where it's like, do the things now, do the things now,
Mm-hmm.
invest in it, and in doing the things now. Um, Here's the other question is like, if you are already going to live to 95, do you really want more time? I mean, personally, the quality of the time matters really much to me. And oftentimes the quality, not always because your health is what it is. Um, Money can help with that. Um, so it's a tough question to answer. And if you're forced to make a question, it depends. I mean, if I'm 95, I don't think I need more time. You better already have your affairs in order and be ready to say goodbye and all that stuff. Because I don't, yeah, I think about your health and the pain and the lack of being able to do things. But if it's right now, do I want more time or more money? Um, and that just kind of goes back to how it was when I was younger. I think more time is going to be the answer. More time, and yeah, I think that's it. But if I'm old, I don't need more time. I would take the money. and,
Take
and
the
but
money and check out.
well, and at that time, it's like when you're that old, you're not going to go to that wonderful trip to wherever that you wanted around the world, depending on your health again and your ability to do that. But then you could leave it to your kid. That'd be kind of fun.
I just want to say that as I have healed from this side of divorce and sacrificing everything really for another human in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm just now beginning to live. I feel like I had like the one thing in my life that I really wanted to do that I realized if I had to leave this planet today, I really realized I made this choice to have both my girls. And I really took each life deeply into consideration
Mm-hmm.
before choosing to move forward. And it is the one thing, two things that I am so glad I did and will always appreciate my marriage for is the allowing of these two lives and for me to experience it. That said, I lost a good chunk of my life, decades. And so I want to live the fullest now. So it's really made this perspective like I just want to do all the things I sacrificed not doing and live the way I sacrificed not living and do it now. So in a way I'm like greedy for it, like salivating for, not greedy, but just so wanting that time. I am so not wanting to check out and to maximize doing the things I have put on hold for decades.
I
That's
hear
how I feel
you.
about life.
I hear you, and I think that's relevant to so many of us who've had these big changes in life. However, if you were in a marriage and it was
A
mutually
kite one.
wonderful and great, you're still going to give up a lot. You still sacrifice so much to have those kids and put them first. you maybe would approach everything a little differently, and having all that peace and love and everything going on correctly through your lifetime wouldn't feel like it's so much of a loss. I mean, the sacrifices
Yeah.
would feel noble only, and not like sacrifice as in like it's taking something from me, because when everything's being taken from you, it's that much more painful. But I hear you on that one. Would
Thanks.
you like to wrap up with one more silly one? Or do
I
you
don't
have
know
a
if I
silly
can
one?
pull one out.
Oh,
No,
no, okay. I
I
can wrap
don't.
up
Do
with a
you?
silly. Sure, sure, sure.
Oh, great. Okay, okay.
Sure, sure. Would you rather never be stuck in traffic again or never have a cold?
Based on where I've been living, I am the person, I don't get road rage, but it does help me practice mindfulness, meditation, and deep breathing. Um, Traffic really does upset me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, and I'm shocked that it would, and I'm shocked that it does. And it angers me to know that something is 5 miles away and is taking me 30 minutes to get there. It just
Mm-hmm.
kills
It's
me.
infuriating.
It is infuriating. And I think I'm getting more and more crotchety about it the
And
older
there's
I'm getting.
more and more traffic,
More
too.
traffic. True, no matter where you go. So I think at this time in my life, Sue, maybe because I don't get out much, I hardly ever am sick. So I think I would really rather never have traffic again.
I think that's a
And
bold
you?
response, because, the normal thing would be to say the cold. Um, I think what you're talking about, the amount of traffic, the infrastructure that's failing, and the need for all the
Yes.
construction and everything, and the quality of life that you have when you are stuck in traffic. It
Hmm.
carries you through the day, that anger and
It does.
the yes, the fury, and having a cold. I think I would probably choose not have a cold, because,
Oh,
um, every time I get one, I say, oh, I just take this so much for granted not having a cold.
yeah.
And realizing that, okay, especially at our age, a cold could have
Worsen.
lead into other problems. So I would take that, although I haven't had a cold. I love this. I'm going to knock on
Me
wood
too.
as I say it,
Me
because
too.
um, since before COVID, I haven't, as far as I know, I've not had COVID, and I've not had a cold. I mean, I had a little nose something, but that wasn't even a cold, where you're sitting down on the sofa and having to have chicken soup or something. It's been marvelous. And as soon as that changes, then I would remember and go, oh, I don't take it for granted. So I'm enjoying it and knocking on wood all the time, because, yeah. Yeah. So I would choose
Okay,
that.
so I have a deep question then. It's not so deep, but I wonder if by being exposed to so many humans through our lives, we have built up more immunity because we've been exposed to all the different strands of things,
Maybe.
that is perhaps why we're not as sick. It's not because, in a way, I do feel like I'm more limited in living. I hardly get out. And by the way, that's not a depressing thing. I just am a homebody by nature. But I don't know if it's because we of that built-in immunity and exposure, or if it's because I don't get out as much. I don't know, but I'm hardly ever. Or Sue, maybe it's because we're not stressed.
Well, there's that too. You're not. You can't tell me you're not stressed.
No. Now that the marriage is over and I'm not in a classroom
Oh, but the dog and the
with,
and the roof and the
you
business and
know
all the
what?
things.
It's a stress, but I'm sleeping again, Sue.
I congratulate you then. Yay.
Thank you. I mean, like, I think I'm feeling fairly peaceful because that's what my really difficult divorce taught me, is that it doesn't really, other than health, it won't get worse than this.
And on that happy note, let's just wrap up for today.
Sounds great.
Thanks for listening. Now let's pack up this week's episode in the trunk.
Ride shotgun and be a part of our adventure by clicking on the plus sign to follow our show. This will help our ratings and, more importantly, inspire us to keep creating fun and engaging content. We would love to hear from you in the comment sections or email us at retiredpodcastnewtread@gmail.com. Use the fast track lane by sharing episodes with friends, family, and anyone who would like to join us on a road trip through re-tirement.
Be sure to check the show notes for links and contact information. Retired is chauffeured by Sue Britz and Tina Lokkbakk. It is produced, directed, and edited by me, Sue Britz. Music and graphics are by me too. Buckle up and tune in next week so that you won't miss your chance to join our retired road trip.